Today we honor the Mercuralia, celebrated on the 15th of May. We're honoring the Julian calendar variation of that. Traditionally, it was celebrated by the merchants of Rome, who would gather water at the Porta Capena and sprinkle it with laurel leaves to consecrate their goods and idols to Mercury. We find in the study of the Roman religion, the Romans directly in the city didn't seem to have that high a place for Mercury. There was no priest of Mercury, no pontifex or flamen on the college of priests. But we find a lot of different temples around at Baia, and then again in the north, there's even one that's been reconstructed just across the border in Germany. But that be what it may, I want to share with you guys today, of course, the first part of the video was the reconsecration of this setup here. And we consecrated it with, I couldn't get water from the well at Capua, but instead we've got San Pellegrino spring water from northern Italy available. And I'd like to share a few readings with you. I'm going to do a reading here from the Iliad as translated by Stanley Lombardo. This is when Zeus sends Hermes to help Priam collect Hector's body from Achilles. Hermes, there's nothing you like more than being companion to men, and you do obey when you have a mind to. So go now, and lead Priam to the Achaean ships unseen and unnoticed until he comes to Achilles. Thus Zeus and the quicksilver courier complied, lacing on his feet the beautiful sandals, immortal and golden, that carry him over landscape and seascape in a rush of wind. And he took the wand he uses to charm mortal eyes asleep and make sleepers awake. Holding this wand, the tough quicksilver god flew down to Troy on the Hellespont and walked off as a young prince whose beard was just darkening, youth at its loveliest. Priam and Oeneus had just driven past the barrow of Ilus, and it halted. The mules and horses in the dark river started to drink, and now it was dusk. Oeneus looked up, and he was aware of Hermes close by. And then I'd like to share with you one of the most interesting readings we're going to do today. It's that of Mercury and the Workman from Aesop's Fables. A workman, felling wood by the side of the river, let his axe drop by accident into a deep pool. Being thus deprived of the means of his livelihood, he sat down upon the bank and lamented his hard fate. Mercury appeared and demanded the cause of his tears, and after he told him his misfortune, Mercury plunged into the stream, and bringing up a golden axe, inquired if it were the one that he had lost. And on his saying that it was not his, Mercury disappeared beneath the water a second time, returned with a silver axe in his hand, and again asked the workman if it were his. When the workman said it was not, he dived deep into the pool for the third time, and brought up the axe that had been lost. The workman claimed it, and expressed his joy upon its recovery. Mercury, pleased at his honesty, gave him the golden and silver axes in addition to his own. And the workman, upon his return to his home, related to his companions all that had happened. One of them at once resolved to try and secure the same good fortune for himself, and he ran to the river and threw his axe on purpose into the pool at the same place, and sat down upon the bank to weep. Mercury appeared to him just as he had hoped he would, and having learned the cause of his grief, plunged into the stream and brought up a golden axe, inquiring if he had lost it. And the workman seized it greedily, and declared that truly it was the very same axe that he had lost. And Mercury, displeased at his knavery, not only took away the golden axe, but refused to recover for him the axe that he had thrown into the pool. And now I'm going to read the Orphic Hymn to Hermes. Hermes, draw near, and to my prayer incline, Angel of Jove, and Maia's son divine, studious of contests, ruler of mankind, with heart almighty and a prudent mind, celestial messenger of various skill, whose powerful arts could watchful Argus kill. With winged feet, 'tis thine through air to course, O friend of man and prophet of discourse. Great life supporter, to rejoice is thine, in arts gymnastic and in fraud divine. With power endured all language to explain, of care the loosener and the source of gain, whose hand contains of blameless peace the rod, Carusian, blessed, profitable God, of various speech, whose aid in works we find, and in necessities to mortals kind. Dire weapon of the tongue which men revere, be present, Hermes, and thy suppliant hear. Assist my works, conclude my life with peace, give graceful speech, and memories increase. And as a final reading today, not from a scripture, but from a quotation. Okay. This is a quotation from Thabit Ibn Hura, who lived under the Abbasid Caliphate and was a Hermeticist in Islamic Baghdad. We who are the heirs and propagators of paganism, happy is he who for the sake of paganism bears the burden of persecution with firm hope. Who else have civilized the world and built the cities, if not the nobles and kings of paganism? Who else have set in order the harbors and rivers? Who else have taught the hidden wisdom? To whom else has the deity revealed itself, given oracles and told the future, if not to the famous men among the pagans? The pagans have made known all of this. They have discovered the art of healing the soul, and also made known the art of healing the body. They have filled the earth with settled forms of government and with wisdom, which is the highest good. Without paganism, the world would be empty and miserable. And to conclude today's video, I'd like to take you to a visit that myself and my good friend Chris Gass took to southern Illinois, or Little Egypt as it's known, to the old Shawneetown Bank, where we consecrated it as a pilgrimage site. Thank you all. The hard sand breaks, and the grains of it are clear as wine. Far off over the leagues of it, the wind, playing on the wide shore, piles little ridges, and the great waves break over it. But more than the many foamed ways of the sea, I know him. Of the triple pathways, Hermes, who awaiteth. Dubious, facing three ways, welcoming wayfarers, he whom the sea orchid shelters from the west and from the east, weathers sea wind fronts the great dunes. Wind rushes over the dunes, and the coarse, salt-crusted grass answers. Hey-hoo, it whips around my ankles. Small is this white stream, flowing below ground from the poplar-shaded hill, but the water is sweet. Apples on the small trees are hard, too small, too late ripened, by a desperate sun that struggles through sea mist. The boughs of the trees are twisted by many bafflings. Twisted are the small-leaved boughs, but the shadows of them is not the shadow of the masthead, nor the torn sails. Hermes, Hermes, the great sea foamed, gnashed its teeth about me, but you have waited, where the sea grass tangles with shore grass. By virtue of my role as Hierophant of the Holy Hermetic Heterodox Heresy, I take this, the Catonic water, and this, the sacred Lord, as is the custom, and I consecrate this site as a pilgrimage for all Hermetic. Amet, so mote it be.